think we're live. Yes, I. Welcome. Welcome to the Pulse of the Nation. Welcome to the Pulse, where we have our finger on the pulse. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, LGBTQ plus transgender. I say salute. My name is Paul Nuku, General Lukapatia, the two-striped man with the medal on top. Vorna. Vorna. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are diving deep into the week's biggest stories, uncovering the truth behind the headlines, and looking ahead for what next to come next week. This is uncovering the reality, a journey into the truth. We have got an unpacked show vandaag, fully packed in Tonga. From political turmoil and illegal battles to sports and arts festival. We are covering it all. So stay tuned as we unravel the facts and get to the heart of the story because we have our finger on the pulse. Let's start with political landscape. You see now the ANC has come out strongly in defense of Cyril Ramaphosa regarding the Phala scandal. The party maintained that Cyril Ramaphosa did whatever he did in his within legal bounds. But the opposition voices are calling for impeachment or resignation. So we will see to finish where we are headed with that because Cyril Ramaphosa doesn't want to resign. He came and told us, I'm not going anywhere. ANC General Secretary Rufigile Mbalula came and told us the president is not going anywhere. It's the ANC that needs to fire the president, or it's the ANC that will decide. Nobody else will decide for the ANC. Another development story is Gogo Umpile. There was a kid, Umpile, which was missing. And now the Gogo is arrested, and now it has sparked a lot of controversial, around her arrest. Authorities say it's part of a broader investigation, but many questions arise to say where is the kid and the motive around the kid getting lost, and now the family wants answers. It's even worse now. It has caused division in their family. We'll keep an eye on that story of what's cooking about the little one and about the story of the little one. Now, another story is that the Madlanga Commission is nearly coming into a conclusion. They are about to conclude this thing now. And my question would be, if Madlanga Commission comes to a conclusion and half of the people they interviewed and half of the people they had conversations with, they are arrested. Arrested for what? Arrested for something that has nothing to do with the Madlanga Commission at this particular point in time. For an example, Mr. Brown Mukhosi. Mr. Brown Mukhosi was arrested after he testified on the Madlanga Commission. When he was about to go home, the cops were there saying, "Hey, Baba, zakhalele zakazankosi." And the reason being, they are arresting him because of his file. They are arresting him because he orchestrated his own assassination, and then now the gun they found there, it's implicated in murders and in robberies. So there's a lot that now is cooking within Brown Mukhosi, but he's not arrested for the mere fact that he's friends with Cat, and now we're about to find out who Maula Mela comes into the picture, and the Big Five, and General Kumalo, General Sibia, all of that now. I don't know what is going to happen, or it's going to be frozen so that he can deal with his case in terms of plotting his own assassination and being found. He's a crook, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. But anyway, he is arrested. He's going to face the law, and possibly will keep intact. Will follow what Brown Mukhosi will see and will reach at this particular point. Now let's switch gears, and when we switch gears, we are going to entertainment and sport. This much anticipated way of, when you look at Orlando Pirates at this particular point in time, the game they played against Durban City, in which it was a win. In football there is no what if or maybe or something like that. So Pirates were supposed to win the game against Durban City. They didn't win that game. They drew 0-0. So meaning they are 2 points behind Mamelodi Sundowns, which Mamelodi Sundowns has finished their league game, which they were playing today in the CAF Champions League final, and they won 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. So Orlando Pirates has the last game against the Orbit College. So the trick is now, Orbit College needs 3 points for them to not get into relegation. So they relegate in the PSL Betway Premiership. They relegate 2 teams. So the 2 teams in the below the belt of the league, they go down to Mutsipe League, which is a league before the PSL league. So it's called an amateur league. So now Orbit College needs 3 points to be sitting. I think it will sit in number 8 or number 9, if I'm not mistakenly. Because of their points, they have 24 points, 25, 26, 27. So if they have 27 points, it means they'll sit up somewhere, go number 9, and they will be the safest from relegation, which now puts pressure on Pirates, because Pirates needs 3 points to win, not to win the league. 1 point, they need 1 point to win the league. If they draw with Orbit College or they lose with Orbit College, the league is gone, is going to Sundowns. Hence, in the previous episode, I was speaking about Orlando Pirates need to be ruthless if they want to win the league. So they became soft, and now it's up to the last game. And this last game, it's a crunch game because it's a do or die. For the Orbit College, they know very well that if they don't win the match, they are going down to the amateur league. If Pirates win the match, they know they are winning the league. So it's a very tricky one at the end of the day, because we are sitting in a space whereby it's exciting, but Pirates slept on the gig, and like by not beating Durban City, they slept on the gig. Even Durban City found themselves fighting for, obviously, the relegation zone, and I think they are number 3. If they are not number 3 from the bottom, they are number 4, in which they are also sitting in a better space as we're speaking. But then the last game with the Orbit College and Orlando Pirates, it's going to determine a lot of teams that are going to relegation, or they're going to do playoffs, because within the 2 teams that are going to the amateur, one needs to play the playoffs. So one automatically is going down via the amateur league. One needs to play the playoffs with the 2 teams that will be coming from the amateur side. So there'll be 3 teams in the playoffs. So they will need to play the playoffs. So if Orbit College wins against Pirates, they'll be sitting, like I say, in number 9 or number 8, if I'm not mistakenly. Then they are safe as ever. But if they lose, they are going down to play in the amateur league or play in the playoffs. There's a huge possibility, and I'm not saying that, I'm just saying there's a huge possibilities that Pirates might let this slip away. There is a high chance, because history tells us that when times like this, Orlando Pirates crash. When times are like this, I don't know what happens with those players in Orlando or the team itself, and like, because when you sit and look at what just happened this past weekend, it was not supposed to be a losing game. It was supposed to be a crunch game. It was supposed to make sure that do or die. Last year we but then people decided not to win. People decided to draw, and now we find ourselves in a very tricky place. It's like you are finding yourself between between a rock and between a rock and I don't know if it's a hard place or whatever. You can help me with my English there, but they find themselves in a very tricky and very like a very tight position at this particular point in time, and more pressure. If they thought this game they were supposed to win with Durban City was pressure, now the pressure is amount. The pressure is up now, heavy gear. So they need to decide. So all I'm saying is that, hey, as an Orlando Pirates fan, I wouldn't want to find myself in this position, and I hate being in this position. But well, it is what it is. So Orlando Pirates, you must do what you need to do. And like, it's been 12 years we've been looking for that thing. Not just a Funi Habli Pabli. You see that trophy looks like a Habli Pabli. Looks like a looks like a Habli Pabli. That's a Funi Habli Pabli. And like that's happens next week, and like because they're playing their last game next week, and obviously Hugo Bruce is about to also name the squad that is going to the World Cup. So we'll still have to see who will represent South Africa in the World Cup. Well, I know for a mere fact, teams like ours don't make it into the quarterfinal, though we are praying that at least we win 1 or 2 games, nyana, that it takes us to the last round of 16 or something. But obviously, by looking at history and by looking at our players and by looking at whatever that needs to be looked at, tina siyabuya, tina siyapaka, sikhapha abanye and like sikhapha abanye masiceda siyopaka, masiceda siyabuya. Yabona ngoba angeke silaste la. Don't lie and look at and have hope that yeah, hey, lama chance lawa, hey, labo Yamal labayana nabo Halati abadlali and like plus Cristiano with his last and Messi it's his last. So you can imagine the people will be facing and like at this particular point in time. Now moving on and like, and we speaking now about the festivals. So now there was a very interesting story about the NKKN festival. Because now what has happened is that there's particular festivals in arts festivals in South Africa that have came together, and they are a platform now that showcases different festival, and artists can be able to perform in this different festival. You have Wordfest, you have Kaka and Kak, you have National Arts Festival in Grahamstown, and you have NKKN. It's another festival. So they came together, these particular festivals, and now what has happened is that at some point, I don't know if they wrote a proposal or obviously the MGE proposals, in which from the Department of Arts and Culture, it's like a application that goes out to art festivals and artists to go around and maybe the world is showcasing their art or get funding to do their festivals and whatnot. So the DG or the government gives them money and they go and do those festivals. So the Department of Arts and Culture, since there was Gayton McKenzie, the Minister of Arts, Sports, Arts and Culture, he has cut off a lot of funding for the arts, especially the last years. In fact, since he has been in the office, he has cut a lot of funding for the arts, and he has cut fundings for these particular festivals that I'm speaking about. So there was a misdirection of information there when they thought they would have received 110, I think, million for doing this, but it's like 6 or 7 festival in a go, or 6 or 7 festival that will alternate, obviously. And then there is 110 million in which the CEO of the festival came and said, no, no, no. From the MGE, there is a mistake because they were supposed to get that money. They were surprised when they were told they are not getting that money. And as well, I still need to search information and get my facts right. I think the minister went around and said, Vele, mina, I gave these people 110 million rand. Ekbeni, that's not the truth, that's not the fact. Possibly it is money that was cut off from them getting or receiving that money. So that story is still brewing, is still cooking to say the minister has cut off so many funding for the arts. Even now, when you look at the Makanda or the National Arts Festival this year, their main program, you would tell there is something that is not okay within the program. And they've started late to advertise the festival as well. And you must understand they have plus minus 200 shows in the fringe that are coming to perform in Makanda. And obviously those particular shows will need to be funded. Those particular shows will need a particular budget of some sort. So when you look at the main program and you look at what is happening main-wise, you could tell there is a little bit of uncertainty, or there was a little bit of cut of because they haven't came out and told us what is happening. But by the look of things, you can tell something is not working the way it needs to work. Their marketing is not marketing very well. They are promoting of the festival, the town. I think we still have to understand what is going on in the town, because the last time Tinabanya we've went there, the town was some otherwise, and like there was no water, um obviously the public service deliveries like your roads, potholes and whatnot. The town was also depicting at some point, you could tell ukuthi they were not even taking care of the town anymore the way they used to take care. I know there is a university there, and the university Vele Vele is well taken care of. There's no way the university is not going to be well taken care of. But the town surrounding it and obviously the town itself, because you must understand politically the town geographically where it's set and the people of the town. So I don't want to go into detail about the National Arts Festival like Grahamstown, but I saw an article, yeah, NKKN, speaking about the 110 million to say the MGE, the Department of Arts and Culture, must not mislead people in saying they gave them money. They didn't give them money. There is no money. They had the money which was donated from the private sector, and there were monies which came from individuals who donated for them, obviously, to have this festival and be able to, grow their art fraternity. So we are sitting in a space where we're still waiting for development and seeing what's going on. But we see and we want to follow and we want to support, because these are trying times now within our spaces as well. Within the entertainment as well. Hey, Badna. Mr. Koza. So there is an actor, Yiso, you want actor like one famous and like I think he was in. Is it The Wife? I think it was in The Wife. I saw him in The Wife because he was playing a very character that Google The Wife, and he was hot. The guy is a good performer. He's a good craftsman and I know at some point he's married and has a daughter, and he has a daughter, and at this particular point in time, hey, Mr. Cos, I don't know what's the cheeks, what's the charts, Cog. Because the story came out to say allegedly there was a sexual assault via an actress. They were shooting, or they were or they were on set, and the girl was touched inappropriate, or they were having a scene and then the director let it flow. I'm not quite sure. Also, the story needs to be followed up so that we get the facts right. Because if we do not get our facts right, it's gonna be like a manga business, and we don't want to be in manga business. If the guy is accused of rape, it continues to stay controversy and the truth is complex, and we need to find out as soon as they're going to court, or as soon as this is put up front. The guy hasn't made a statement. There's only allegations from the girl who has came out and spoken. I think it's also today. He came out today and spoke about it and said, hey, there is a problem. So for me, in the artistic world, especially when it comes to these particular stories about sexual harassment within these spaces, and the guy maybe comes out and says, no, it was a scene, and that scene needed to be shot like this, or this scene needed this. I think, what's your take, Vele, of having performers performing a particular scene in which that scene you could tell, or we can tell, it's an uncomfortable scene, even if the people which are in the scene, they are comfortable enough that we can see the scene. To us, it's not comfortable. They needed to be comfortable as possible, and we know they are actors and actresses. Is there a limit in terms of the performers, the actors and the actresses, when also it comes to sexuality? Where is the bottom line? Where does the line stop? Where do we go? Okay, now this is a scene that needs to be created like this, so the scene needs to be like this. There is also a kind of a debate of actors and actresses who come to this field, who understand or want to know what are the morals and the ethical conducts in these particular spaces, in which they are questionable half of the time, because you see actresses and actors, some of the times they do certain things that you go, hey, ethically, is this vele and true? And sometimes vele they do it because they have to do it. It's money, and possibly it's their work. And you must understand, half of the time, people sign up to these particular things. They know Gucci. when I do what I do because I'm getting paid, and yes, I've signed some contract or some, but I guess the story is bigger than that, because someone cannot come and accuse somebody of certain thing. It has to be bigger and complex, like I say, the way we are looking at it, to go, yo, it is complex. So this came out vandaag to say, hey, this is the case. So we will follow the case, we'll see what's going on, because the courts are going to be busy, obviously. This week in J, yeah. Oh, Fidel Adams got his bail, and like, yeah, he got his bail. They gave him a bail. But hey, ngeke asaphapha the way apapha ngakhona. Cishe bamtswinya, cishe. Hey, ngeke asaspitele out le. Brekile ibhova manje. Wuf, manje brekile ngwe. Bebacela ukuthi umtsipa kancane. So he understood the granting of his bail came with heavy conditions, and like, because obviously when you start making mockery of the law and you are in front of the law will make an example. And obviously in this type of situation and in this type of the country, you become the example, and like they'll show you'll become the first, and they will say, yabona ukuthi sibabonisile ukuthi thina siyasebenza ngoba thina masisebenta la sibopha abantu. So just be careful of finding yourself in a space where you're thinking the law is not working because the law is not after you. They say the law works when they are looking for you, or when you are in trouble. You will see that the law works. But if the law is fair and busy and dizzy, doing their things up and down and enthusiastic, getting top of the matters, and you're thinking, wait until they're looking for you. Wait until you are in trouble. You'll realize with the law is the law, and it has a long arm. Doesn't have a short arm, it has a long arm. Even now with this case that are caused with the sexual whatnot, they're saying why the girl came now. No, Baba. It doesn't matter if he came now, or he came 2 years, or he came 3 years, or 4 years. There's something that is not sitting well. So she needs to get it out of her chest. It's like your therapeutic ways of dealing with certain things that have traumatized you. Sometimes you sit and you go, this thing I can deal with. I don't have trauma, because also black people love that kind of a thing to say, mina yini trauma, do trauma yini king, yoba di therapy yani ngoba stealing ama therapy tina sabota. No. The thing is, some of the things in life, they come back because they happen to you possibly at a certain time where you are not realizing the impact of that particular thing that is happening. Then you live your life. One day something triggers you. Then you realize that, I haven't healed from that particular thing that happened to me in the past 2 or whatnot. So now I need to go back and really heal from whatever that I'm suffering from. And at that particular point in time, other people do certain things to find themselves in a space where they really go an extreme way to heal. And obviously, healing is not easy, and it's not a one-day thing, and healing is destruction. It's change. So I think now Mugel now wants change. So he's coming with distraction. He has receipts. Lo muntu mfana semzini. Unama WhatsApp, unama text. I think a guy once texted him at some point in his life to say, hey, I'm sorry for what happened. I can't sleep. This thing will be dealt with amicably. We'll make sure that we settle it the way it needs to be settled, because there was also trauma, because this thing was not happening because it wanted to happen. Possibly it's something that happened and it blew out of proportion, and somebody was like, hey, I can swingle it, I can that kind of a thing. And as yet time was chaile. Time was like, Gwenya, you've messed up. Now it's not cooking. So that now, I think they'll be headed to court. There's some illegal case that needs to be brewed. So, hey, we don't know. We don't know. But as we wrap up today's episode, and like, we are looking forward to what's coming next. Like the Madlanga Commission, what would it find? Would it reshape leadership, the narrative of the country? Will the legal cases and the political battle continue unfolding? And of course, will the sports season heat up? Within the last minute, would Pirates snatch that thing? Or would Sundowns, Bafana Babu Yelu, win without chillaxing. I want bachillile ndoda. Bachillile lapha ePitori ndoda baqeda ukushaya yini le club SBR 1-0. One. So obviously when they go away to play, obviously with one goal, they know that they've got one foot on that cup. And we wish them luck and like we need that calf, the second star on the Sundowns t-shirt. We need that thing. Maybe it also will encourage the Buccaneers to have a medal to let yabona their study yaningene futhi. But now because abafana bethu basalele mele bathathe champ mele bathathe Betway Hubbly Bubbly babhizi badizi bachayisana namabonda abafuna ukuthatha iHubbly Bubbly ilale Hubbly Bubbly into mele siyenze thina but anyway, we don't know. And the arts in the community is also hopefully the future finding itself, making sure that this festival happen. Let's support them. And obviously, hopefully next time they'll also be transparent and also aligning us with what's cooking, what's the jigs, what's the chart, what's the chiga, so that we follow these things. And like we are looking forward to next week. There's too many court cases, obviously. Joe Ferrara, uyabuyela and on Monday, but Senzo Mewa's case, it's still continuing, guys. That case, there's a lot there. Because when you look at our law system and you follow that case, you will realize, you know what, there is a lot in our country that is happening at this particular present moment. Yes, Jacob Zuma, again, I'm still. I'm pinding the food. So you see in our country, there's just Gaten Mackenzie. You know what this guy has done? So this guy has said, I am cutting funding from sports, arts and culture, but I'm going to give 10, 20 supporters who are going to the most expensive World Cup ever in the history. The most expensive World Cup. You're going to take 10 or 20 people to that World Cup. I heard like the cheapest ticket there, it's 40,000 rand. And I stand corrected. Correct me. I stand corrected. But the cheapest ticket there, give 40 scoto. If not 40 scoto, possibly the cheapest ticket will be 10, 15 scoto. Like igoto nje sikhuluma ngeigoto itina, mama 20 stina, mama 30 stina, mama 40 stina, 40 stina, 40 stina. Oh, you get so now you fly them, accommodate them in these three matches. I know it's 3 matches. It's not gonna be more than 3 matches because the South African squad, Bafana, I want to more than 3 matches. Our fit we can bet and like very Betway was there vele with his patch and like grand. Yeah, so Vasio patch with grand sizwa kuma quarter final now. And looking at the squad vele that we really have at this present moment, that even Mufokeng didn't come and surprise us and became valuable superstar that we are looking for and snatch the league for you Pirates. Sometimes it's even worse. It's playing with 3-4 players, which now they're gonna be tired when we go to the World Cup. And if they don't win this African Cup foot, it's gonna be worse because they'll be demoralized. So I'm like hoping with at least we beat. We'll never beat Mexico. Like we didn't even beat Mexico the first time we played 2010. We drew. And then we lost the second match and the third match. It's gonna be hard for us. Otherwise, stay tuned, Bafetu. Stay informed. First step ahead. Understand the truth. We'll be back, Boma, next week. Unpacking the week. Unpacking the updates. Understanding what we just went through. And understanding what's coming. And like, stay tuned. Stay with your finger on the pulse. It's only the truth we're searching for. Vorna. Adios. Ringos.